Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our quick publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC, on the day that Liverpool take on Benfica in Lisbon in the quarter-final first leg of the Champions League. This is a big game. It feels like a big game. It's two great European clubs. Liverpool, 6-time European champions. Benfica, 2-time European champions. We have some really good content for you ahead of this match. There is an AI scouted with Marco Lopez, who is a Benfica fan, and as well as a Liverpool fan, and gives great insight on Benfica, where they are, why things have gone slightly awry for them over the last year or two. He also did a podcast with Nina on Euro Incision, so you can check that one out as well. You'll find both of them on AnfieldIndex.com. All of the main Liverpool sites are dedicated to pre-match content. And This Is Anfield have put together the usual 10 things to know ahead of the game. Joanna Durkin has put this one together. The Reds hosts suffer pre-game setback. With Liverpool winning 10 league games in a row, Benfica have stumbled only days prior to the Reds' visit. Benfica lost to Sporting Braga on Friday night 3-2, which really does see them cut well adrift of Porto and Sporting, who are first and second respectively. At risk of suspension, Liverpool have two players who are one yellow card away from missing the second leg, those being Sadio Mane and Diogo Jota, whereas Benfica have 7 players who are one yellow card away. Otamendi, Germario, Grimaldo, Weigl, Yaramchuk, Rafa Silva, and Ramos. I think the ideal would be for Liverpool to go comfortably ahead in this game, and then Sadio and Jota to just pick up yellow cards and miss that game rather than miss anything else later in the competition. There will be some familiar Benfica players in the squad. Jan Vertonghen and Nicolas Otamendi obviously spent a long time in the Premier League. Adel Taarabt was in England for quite a while, and João Mario and Julian Weigl will be known to most because at a time, both of them were among the most highly regarded young midfielders in world football. It hasn't really worked out for either of them, but they're still good players. There's a possible Benfica 11 here. I'm not going to try and pronounce the goalkeeper's name because I'll butcher it. But Gilberto, Otamendi, Vertonghen and Grimaldo would be the defence. That is the expected defence. Rafa Silva, João Mario, Julian Weigl and Everton in midfield. And Darwin Núñez and Yaramchuk up front, two big bustly forwards who likely will cause us some issues, especially if the likes of Everton and Rafa Silva are given opportunity and time on the ball. Rafa Silva is particularly dangerous. His ability to find space and make really intelligent decisions is something we'll have to be aware of. Liverpool have a full-strength squad. The players that were in training on Monday, we had 5 goalkeepers: Alisson, Kelleher, Adrian, Pitaluga and Karius. Defenders: Van Dijk, Matip, Konate, Gomez, Reece Williams, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson and Tsimikas. Midfielders: Fabinho, Thiago, Keita, Jones, Henderson, Elliott, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Milner. And the attackers: Salah, Mane, Jota, Diaz, Firmino, Minamino, and Origi. So the Reds will be at full strength, or whatever Jurgen Klopp deems to be full strength for this game. There will be a loaded bench regardless of who starts. The predicted 11 here is Alisson, Trent, Ibu, Verge, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, and no forward players, apparently. I'm guessing Sadio, Diaz, and Jota was the front three that was intended, but the predicted 11 has no front three players. Can Salah stay in the hunt? So obviously Mo has dipped a little bit of late, but he does have 8 goals in 8 appearances in European competitions so far. And he is in contention to break Cristiano's record for the most goals in a European competition in a single year. Cristiano scored 12. Klopp said he has nothing new to say on Mo. I'm happy. There's nothing new to say. The decisive parties are talking to each other, and that's all I need. That's it. He might not have scored from open play or whatever. It's not too important. For me, the performance level is important. It's completely normal in a season that you have these little things. I think that's wise to not focus on it, not highlight it, just move on past it. The Egyptian Minister for Sport has come out and said that he spoke to Salah after the recent games with Senegal and advised him to go to another club. And Salah told him his priority was to re-sign with Liverpool. So that's pretty good to know. Did you know there are bound to be nerves swirling, but the Reds have an impressive record at this stage of the competition and on the road. As for progressing beyond the quarterfinal stage of the last 8, at this juncture, see Liverpool play the first leg away from home. They've reached the last 4 6 times. Only Real Madrid last season and Vidas Lodz in 1982-83 have denied the Reds passage to the semi-final. So that's when Liverpool play the first leg away from home in a quarter-final. They've made the semi-final 6 out of 8 times. I don't know if that's badly worded or if I've just butchered reading it. A new face in the middle. Jesus Gil Manzano will be the Spanish referee, and he is refereeing a Liverpool match for the first time. He's refereed 4 Benfica matches, and there is obviously a live blog on This Is Anfield this evening, which you can read. They've also put together 2 predicted lineups. Let's see then. What have they got? So the first one is Alisson, Trent, Ibu, Verge, Robbo, Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago, Salah, Firmino, Diaz. The second one is the same team except Matip in for Ibu and Mane in for... Mane and Jota in for Salah and Firmino. I've got to say, I'll be really surprised if Thiago starts in midfield tonight. With City at the weekend, I think it's likely that Thiago is on the bench tonight and Naby Keita starts. He's back in full training. He had a bit of a knock to his knee, but he looks like he'll be fine. I like that front 3. I like Mane, Jota, Diaz as the front 3 for tonight. I think Henderson, Fabinho, Naby in midfield, Ibu in for Matip. That's probably what I'm expecting, but you never know with Klopp. He could do something strange. Klopp is being realistic about the quadruple, but savouring the fact that the Reds are ready to dream. It is something you have to be realistic about because it's never been done before. It's the near impossible thing. But we're in a position where if we win this game and get through next week and say we draw with City and then beat City in the FA Cup semi-final, all of a sudden we're in a Champions League semi-final, an FA Cup final, and heading into the last few games of the Premier League, very much in the hunt for the title. And then anything can happen. Once you get to a semi-final or a final, it's all up in the air. we would be favoured to beat either Chelsea or Crystal Palace, especially if Chelsea play like they did against Brentford. They line up with a back four against us, we'll absolutely destroy them. Champions League is going to be difficult, obviously. Probably going to have City there. Probably going to have Bayern. We would face Bayern, obviously. And then the other quarterfinal, I think, is the tightest one of them. Chelsea versus Real, with the winner to face the winner of the City Atleti game. So it's a tough path for us, regardless. We'll have to go through Benfica and then one of that other group. But you'd rather it just be one of that other group than two or three of them. And over two legs, I would fancy us to beat Bayern Munich. In a one-legged final, I'd rather Chelsea, City or Atleti than Real. There's just something horrible about Real in a one-legged game. All that experience, all that nous, knowing what it takes to win those games. Now, obviously, we've won one as well. But you look at that Real team, it's just full of multi-time Champions League winners. Carvajal, he's got 4. Nacho's got 4. Alaba won 2 with Bayern. Their midfield, Modric, Kroos, Casemiro, they won 4. Benzema's won 4. They just know how to win it. It's as simple as that. Carlo Ancelotti, the manager's won 3. You'd rather face them over two legs, so hopefully they get knocked out before the final. Luis Diaz can extend impressive Benfica run as Virgil van Dijk hits milestone. So Diaz has never lost to Benfica. 7 games, 5 wins, 2 draws. Scored once, 1 red card. Jota has scored twice in 4 games against Benfica. One for Pacos de Ferreira and one for Porto when he was just 19. Jota, like I said earlier, is one of the 2, along with Mane, at risk of suspension. This will be Virgil van Dijk's 250th appearance for an English club. Liverpool's next goal in Europe will be their 50th against teams from Portugal. And they are 1 goal short of recording their 350th goal as an away team under Jurgen Klopp. Salah has scored in 12 of his last 13 Champions League appearances. He has 34 European goals in total for the club, all in the Champions League, and has Steven Gerrard's club record of 41 in all European competitions firmly in his sights. So, assuming Mo is with the club next season, he's breaking that record next season. His best tally in a Champions League campaign is 11 in 15 games. That was his first season with the club. The only players to score more than 8 European goals in a single European campaign for Liverpool are Bobby Firmino, Sadio Mane, 11 and 10 respectively, and Dean Saunders with 9, which you'd have to imagine was a UEFA Cup campaign back in the 90s. Liverpool conceded only 3 goals in their last 13 games and not more than 1 in any game since the 2-2 draw at Chelsea. Yeah. Lots of interesting stuff on This Is Anfield. Do make sure to check that out when you get a chance. On Liverpool.com, there's also a predicted 11, which has Ibu coming in. So Alisson, Gomez, Konate, Gomez at right back. That's an interesting one. Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Keita, Mane, Jota, Diaz. That is the team of Matt Addison. James Martin has Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Elliott, Keita, Salah, Mane, Diaz. Ben Boxic has gone for Alisson, Gomez, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Jones. That midfield is ugly. Hopefully that's not the midfield. That's horrendous. No, thank you. Mane, Salah, and Diaz in attack. So hopefully Ben is wrong, because that midfield without Trent is awful. Liverpool can scout £58 million duo as Jurgen Klopp gets close look at Champions League transfer chance. So obviously one of them will be Darwin Núñez, who is well worth a look for Liverpool. And the other is Rafa Silva. Silva's very, very good, but I don't think he's Liverpool quality. He's also 28, so he'll be 29 before the season's over. So there's little to no chance that we would make a move for a player like that. Mohamed Salah transfer ruled out as Jurgen Klopp calls Barcelona man to seal move. I'd imagine that Barcelona man would be Ousmane Dembele. It is. Salah transfer ruled out. Yeah, we've all known that. £63 million transfer boost. Liverpool have been handed a boost in their pursuit of Serge Gnabry. So now we're in pursuit of Serge Gnabry. That's the first time I've seen that mentioned. But it is an interesting one. He is a top-class player. So you definitely wouldn't be against the signing of Gnabry. Liverpool have transfer chance for old Jurgen Klopp target as obstacles removed. That is about Timo Werner. Michael Edwards could be about to make Liverpool millions again via £27 million Bundesliga transfer. So Theo Awoniyi is on fire for Union Berlin this season and is already being linked with a move this summer and talk of a fee in the region of £27 million, which would net Liverpool somewhere in the region of 3 million on top of the 6.5 they got as a fee. That's not bad. Not bad for a day's work. Liverpool could beat Manchester United and Tottenham to electric £17 million transfer. Noni Madueke. This kid is really special. Really special. I'd very much be in favour of us signing him. Former Spurs youth player, homegrown, immense dribbler, really intelligent player, huge potential, needs to find consistency and the like in his game, but can play as an attacking midfielder, so could potentially play as the right side at 8, can play across the front line. He won't actually count as a homegrown player next year. It'll be the following year he'd count, but doesn't really matter. He'd be worth getting in just to have him, just to be able to develop him and use him in our squad, because he is an outstanding young player. On AnfieldIndex.com, there is a piece here. Who is Liverpool transfer target Vitinha? This one's put together by Sam Maguire. Questions as to whether or not he is actually a transfer target. Oyogo are the ones reporting it. They're not exactly known for their reliability. There's plenty of podcasts up. Like I said, there's the new Scouted ahead of Benfica. There is a Rate Don't Hate from the weekend's game against Watford that you can check out. And obviously there will be post-match Raw after the game tonight. So do make sure to listen in. That's me. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.